Hello to all the people. This is S+Marketing Live, and we are so excited to be here with you guys. Thank you for joining us, and happy Thursday. S+Marketing Live is here to help you feel smarter about what's happening in the marketing world right now. What is S+Marketing? Thanks for asking. S+Marketing is about marketing using the ultimate human technology, stories. He said it, it happened. It was just silent, which is almost better. Our team is here from Story Collaborative. We're a group of growth marketing consultants. And while we introduce ourselves, if you're on Facebook, could start a watch party. If you're on YouTube, maybe grab a cup of coffee. I don't know. If you've heard us introduce ourselves a lot of times, you might be tired of it. If you don't know how to start a watch party, all you have to do if you're on the Facebook app is press share and you can start a watch party from there. If you figure out how to do it on your desktop, let us know because we can't figure it out. Dave, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Dave. I am the what am I? I'm the Chief Growth Officer. I can't say it today. I can't say it, but I can do it. I focus on helping our team and our clients grow, integrate with the latest technology and the best practices. Quick, short, non-rambling factoid about me. When I was still dating my wife, her mother made a delicious meal, which included steak and baked beans. Those beans I proceeded to spill on my future mother-in-law's head. That's it for me.
That was a super great factoid. Jennifer, you got something to beat that?
You know, I definitely am not sharing any embarrassing stories, including the one where I accidentally walked into the men's bathroom in high school. So congratulations to me. Now everyone knows. My name is Jennifer Bailey, and I am the, now I don't even remember, but I have something to do with websites and diagnosing and treating them, much like a therapist would do, except in the marketing world. So that's what I do.
Excellent. More things I didn't know. I spilled an entire hot latte on the back of my future father-in-law, and he didn't even tell me. It wasn't until he turned around and walked away that I discovered I'd done it, and I didn't feel horrible. He was so nice. Anyway, I'm Amy Alexander. I am our creative director. My goal is to make sure that brands feel unified all the way from the receptionist answering the phone to your colors and logos and everything in between. So today we are talking about SEO, Nike, and Vocalus Minimus Syndrome. What is it? Hold on, you're gonna find out.
Hey, you know what? We forgot something. We don't have a sponsor for today.
Our sponsor. Go for it.
I think that Chad is out trying to wrangle a sponsor at the last minute, so maybe he'll show up somewhere in the middle of the video. I hope.
It could happen. We'll have to. I hope it's something good. All right. So today we are going to talk through how to evaluate your own SEO and figure out if it's working for you. We'll be talking through some things that Nike is doing to totally change the brick and mortar game, which is fascinating. We're also going to talk about what the heck Vocalus Minimus Syndrome is. It's a Chad appearance. Chad, he's with us. Soul patch and all. Chad, do you have...
Hello.
Do you have a sponsor for us today?
Nope. I do not. I do not.
That's okay.
Well, you better have an embarrassing story then.
We've
How
all
about
shared
this?
very embarrassing stories. Yeah.
Whoever invented autocorrect should burn in hello. So there you go. Sponsor.
That was great. Okay, let's get started with our first segment, Repeat After Me. Our goal here is to help you have verbatim things you can say when people on your team or maybe supposed to know the answer to.
So say that again because you went into the world of hyper hiccup. So people on your team ask you questions, and then what?
Ask you questions you're supposed to have an answer to. Did I freeze? Okay. Repeat after me. Let's start with the first one. How to respond to your sales team when they say, websites can't really bring leads. There's no like a hand toss in there somewhere. Dave, do you have a good response for this?
Websites can't bring leads, don't bring leads. So first of all, it's, this is not that unlikely for you to actually hear this comment from a business owner, a founder, a sales manager. And so the best comeback really is for you to point to all of the competitors who are absolutely getting truckloads of leads, and say, gosh, that's funny, because you can list them and say all the competitors that are getting lots of leads off the websites. I wonder why we're not. And that's a great thing for you to explore, because you really should be getting leads. There are people that believe that you won't get leads off websites, and they live, I think, in a different century than we do, but they are out there. So be ready for it. Have a list of competitors who are getting leads. My answer.
That's a great answer. I love it. So we actually have a really cool guide, the pain-free guide to your next website redesign. And in this guide, it's a free guide live on our site. You just go click on it, read it like an article. You can download the PDF if you want to, print it out and look at it. But it does talk a little bit about the importance of developing funnels within your next website redesign. So something you can grab, and we'll make sure we include a link. You can go read away. Our next question: what to say to your Uncle Harry when he tells you that he's not on Facebook and neither are any of his friends? Now, I have heard this response from business owners and C-level executives in business meetings with unnamed clients, in which we're talking about the importance of Facebook advertising or authentic posting, and someone in the room says, well, I'm not on Facebook. Can it really be that, is it really that important? Okay, so here's your response. And that's when you have to not laugh, right? You're like, let me be knowledgeable. The response is this: that's interesting. Another interesting fact? It has 2.6 billion monthly active users, and 1.73 billion of those are visiting on a daily basis. 1.73 billion. Not to mention, users 65 years and older are the fastest growing group on Facebook. So Uncle Harry, maybe you guys should get with the times. And that's what you say.
That was pretty cutting.
Yeah, maybe it depends on your relationship with Uncle Harry, whether or not you can be that sarcastic. Okay, what to tell your boss when he walks in your office and says, hey, that SEO we paid for, is it doing anything? Jennifer, what do you say?
Ooh, good question, boss man. Okay, so you've paid for this SEO, and now how do you know if it's going to do anything or if it's working or not? Well, the very first question I would definitely ask is, are you getting new customers? Because ultimately that's the whole point, right? But it's also true that you may not get customers right away. So there's some other levers that you can use to judge whether or not your SEO is working. The first one is that you definitely should be seeing month-over-month improvements on your rankings, also called SERPs. And that just means that the keywords that you're focusing on are coming higher and higher in rankings in the Google listings every single month. But it's also not really super black and white. So here's a couple other questions you should be asking your SEO consultant or company to make sure they're doing their job correctly, they know what they're doing, and your SEO is working, your investment is working. So what is my click-through rate? Can you show me the increase in traffic? Are my rankings relevant and getting the right kinds of leads? And of course, it always comes right back to an increase in leads, because even if your SEO is working, you should probably make sure your website is prepared to handle that increase in traffic that you're supposed to be getting. So that's what I would say to you, boss man.
I think SEO is one of those really difficult subjects because a lot of people sell it and everyone does it a little differently. And people will tell you conflicting things, and then you pay for it, and then it can feel sort of like a black hole that money's gone into. So anyway, that's a difficult topic, and we understand that. So we'll try and address this issue a little more on our S+Marketing Lives. Okay, our final repeat after me. The top 3 things you should tell your admissions coordinator when you ask them to go film something with their iPhone. Doesn't have to be an admissions coordinator. Could be anyone that's an underling to you. Chad.
Awesome. So there's a couple things you should do. First of all, I would immediately go to your settings on your iPhone and then go to your camera. Now, if you have an iPhone 7 or better, you're going to have at least 2 cameras on there. If you have an iPhone 11, like my wife, you have 3 cameras on there. So you have a lot of options in terms of wide angle lenses and telephoto lenses. Now, if you are zooming into a subject, the old adage was that it would just digitally do this. Now with the 7s and up, it'll switch lenses. So you basically are going to have this weird transition between the wide angle lens and then the telephoto lens. And it's very subtle, but you're going to notice it while recording. So for starters, don't always zoom unless you just absolutely have to, because it is a digital zoom. But now you would go in and you would lock your camera, and that basically means you're going to lock the lens. So if you're in the wide angle lens, if you're just filming something, you're going to be in your wide angle lens. It's going to lock it, and it's not going to have that weird transition. Another thing is to make sure that you are filming for better composition, picture composition, filming with a grid. And that is also in your settings. You enable the grid, just helps frame everything in the rule of thirds with the 9 individual squares. And you can say, okay, that's in the top right and what have you. And then you can also film in high efficiency. If you need something for your video editor to be compatible, like a JPEG or a H.264 format, then you'd probably go with the other option. Can't remember it now off the top of my head, but high efficiency is usually the way to go. It's a better compression algorithm. You're going to get better resolution out of your video, and you're going to get less compression overall. And horizontal or vertical, well, you decide. It depends on what channel you're pushing it out to. If it's YouTube, you probably want to go horizontally with your camera. And then if you are going like Instagram and you want to kind of get that spur of the moment kind of feel, you do it vertically. So it just depends on how you're filming it and what the intended purpose is. So there you go.
There was so much information in everything you said and lots of big words.
Yes.
But also really good info.
I forgot to lock my camera.
Dave was up there doing like disco camera. Zoom out, zoom in, zoom out. Awesome. Thank you, Chad. Okay, so on to our next segment, ads in the wild. Jen, what do you have for us today?
Cool. Okay, so I love this segment. It's my favorite segment, Ads in the Wild, because basically you experience ads in everyday life when you're doing random things. And that's the whole point. Ads take over the world and they're after you. So what do they mean and what are they trying to tell you? Well, I was sitting in the kitchen, actually not sitting, I was standing in the kitchen the other day, and I was making dinner. And all of a sudden I hear these little kids, all of them laughing in the living room. All at one time. And then I hear my husband in the living room laughing with the kids. I'm like, what is happening? I have to see this. So I walk into the living room and what do I see? YouTube, of course. But what do I see on YouTube? You're about to find out. So here we go.
Boys, can I get some help? I don't know. Can you?
Guess you don't want Doritos.
Welcome to the Ultimate Doritos Kids compilation. Every hilarious Doritos Kids commercial ever made. Have a good time.
Oh my goodness.
That actually made me laugh, which I did not expect to have happen.
Okay, so now this goes on for 17 minutes straight Doritos commercials. The whole thing is Doritos commercials. And this isn't the only compilation on the web, right? So somehow 17 minutes worth of 30-second commercials for Doritos got put together and repurposed in a way that Doritos didn't do. Some other user did this. And now whole families are watching all the Doritos commercials together at one time, laughing. And you know what my daughter said as I was making dinner? She walked in the kitchen, she said, "Mom, I really want Doritos." So that's my ads in the wild for today. Brilliant user-generated ad content.
Not to mention entertainment, the ultimate goal of a great ad. Really. That is super funny. Also, that kid, I don't know, can you? I'd be like, no Doritos for you. Okay. Our next segment is the 5 W's, and I think Chad is ready to share for us.
I think I am too. And did you guys know that Doritos are highly flammable? Yeah, there you go. So all you pyros out there, go light your Doritos on fire unless you're going to eat them. Okay.
Do not try it.
So, yeah, don't try it at home though. Yeah, do it at your friend's house. So, who? Let's do the who, what, when, where, and why this week. So the who is Nike. What is it? Nike has opened up a new store called Nike Rise. It's a one-of-a-kind retail experience, and it's built for members. They like do things like examine your shoe size fit. Like they'll take pictures of your feet, which sounds really gross. And they'll use like machine learning and AI to craft shoes that are meant for your feet, and they do that on site. And you basically the whole flow of the store is data driven. So whatever you want to look at, whatever experience is presented to you is based on data that you're given to Nike. Now, when they launched just last week, and their first store is opening in Guangzhou. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, China. And eventually 2021, they'll do it in several different locations. So I'm sure they'll probably have one in Los Angeles or something like that pretty soon. So why does this matter for you? So as data is becoming more and more present in our lives, we're going to see more and more stores bring this out, especially now that brick and mortar is kind of declining, and with COVID and everything, with social distancing, you're going to see businesses start to serve up experiences that are meant to be for a particular customer rather than just a broad kind of painting of the brush, if you will. And I've said this for years. Why can't I go to the supermarket and have my list scanned, and they tell me the optimal route to go to get all my groceries, or to tell me where things are? I mean, come on, it's like a no-brainer. So
that is a no-brainer.
Right. So these kind of experiences, when people want what they want and they want to see different things, it's meant to bring you into a brick and mortar, but it's meant to have more of that kind of online feel type of experience that you're used to. So there you go, Nike Rise.
Yeah, it's really interesting to me because we all know the brick and mortar is either going away or it's transforming to something else, and so our digital experiences matter a lot. I think I read a report with that Nike reported something like 30% right now of their profit is coming from online, which they didn't. I think their goal for that was like 2023. It's already true, and I'm sure COVID has pushed that number a little bit, but so we're going to see brick and mortars innovating, and if you want people to be somewhere, you've got to find a way to make it experience. And so the fact that this Nike Rise store actually changes and shapes itself to you as a person individually is crazy, and also kind of scary.
Yeah. So
Go ahead, Jennifer.
here's our sponsor for the week: Nike Rise foot recognition software. Walk around town in the city. We'll take pictures of your feet and identify you anywhere in the world.
It does go to this idea of augmented reality. And so The truth is that if you have ways to collect data about your customers, which everybody who does any kind of sales does, if you are managing that data well, you can use that data to personalize the experience. That begins online. That's an important part of your website. So don't let your website be born without the ability to capture data and to use that data for personalization. So that's my free advice.
I like it. All right, thanks, Chad. That was very interesting. Our final segment is website therapy. So grab your website, sit it down on the couch. Let's get started.
Give it some tea. Don't go to sleep, Chad. So today we're going to talk about Vocalus Minimus Syndrome. This is websites without words. This is the website that lacks the essential content to answer visitor questions and meet their needs. Both SEO and visitors rely upon content on your website. The search engines need content to know that your website's a great place to send lots and lots of prospects. But visitors want to answer their questions. They want to compare and contrast. They want to learn more. So if your website is sans content, or if you just have content that was templated from somewhere else and stuck on your website, if it's not a rich resource for people, then your website might have this syndrome, Vocalus Minimus Syndrome. And the only solution for this is to add more content, but don't add just any content. You want to have quality content. That's the cure for this syndrome. Now, there is an opposite syndrome as well. This is the Vocalus Giganticus Syndrome. And this is when there's just way too flippin' much content and it's not organized. It has no bullets, no headings. It feels like you are reading the phone book. So you don't want that either, but content is the heart of what makes a search engine deliver people to your website, and also what makes the visitor able to become a customer. So anyway, that's what you need to do. If you need help with some website therapy, you know, Jennifer is a website therapist, and it'd be good for your website to visit with her and see if we can help your website out. So it's not so sick.
Yeah, so we can sit your website down and say, oh, poor website, you have no soul, you have no content. I don't know if I can fix that for you. But seriously, we can. We definitely can
really
prescribe some fixes for
Very
that.
true.
Thanks, Dave.
I think also, you know, going back to the SEO conversation a little bit, the thing about SEO, search engine optimization, is that it's changed so much every time Google changes algorithms. But what Google is trying to do is present you with the best content. And so a great rule of thumb that sort of transcends SEO trends is the fact that you just have to have good content. If you have great articles and you have valuable things to say, and you're saying them transparently for people to gain knowledge and be educated about your industry, you're pretty much going to be doing a great job. So, all right, everyone. Any closing comments, y'all?
Well, I do have a quote today. And this is a John Maxwell quote, the leadership quote. Here's the quote for you today. It is, change is inevitable. We can all see that. But the last half of the quote is, change is inevitable, but the next part is, growth is optional. So in the middle of all this change, in the middle of all this crazy transition, disruption, et cetera, growth is an opportunity for all of us. So I encourage you to do some of that in growing. And hopefully not your waistline, hopefully some other way. Spiritually, emotionally, mentally, socially.
That's hilarious.
And that's what I would say to the website on the couch.
Change is inevitable.
Right, that's right.
All right, guys. Well, thank you all for joining us. It was lovely to be with you on this Thursday. That concludes our session for today. Remember, stories are the ultimate human technology. If you thought this was helpful, we're here on YouTube and Facebook Live on Thursdays at 12 every week. So
see you guys.